you are getting f***ed. And so if you want to help me un you, then like vote me into office.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a special presidential episode of Fung Bros Food.
We are here today having some Taiwanese night market snacks with none other than 2020 presidential candidate Andrew Yang, everybody.
Hey, thanks. Great to be here. I love Taiwanese food. I love night markets. Let's do it.
You are running for the President of the United States in 2020.
Yes, I am. Declared, raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's all official.
Our next guest is a 2020 Democrat candidate for the presidency. Andrew Yang is with us.
Since the last time we saw you in New York, a lot has happened. Let's talk about it.
Taiwanese snacks.
Let's go.
And by the way, this is not a political endorsement of any kind. Andrew is just an extremely interesting person with a lot to say, and he's running for president.
We are looking at a pretty amazing Taiwanese snack spread right now.
I see lots of raised eggs, braised pork, braised tofu.
I got an almond milk tea with boba, and this is spot on.
What of the food here is looking the tastiest to you and the most familiar?
I love the minced pork over rice. I love the lutan. Anytime I'm in Taiwan, I'm hungry, I just go to a 7-Eleven, get one of these bad boys. I love the braised tofu. I'm gonna stick myself one of these right now.
Would you like a piece of Taiwanese blood cake?
That's for me? Yeah, of course, man.
But I got papaya milk. That's
milk
pretty,
boba.
that's very...
Oh, that's a good choice, man.
So you have soft tofu with the 1,000-year-old century duck egg.
You know, I don't think I've had that together. I didn't even see the eggs. I just saw the tofu and thought, like, delicious looking tofu.
When you went back to Taiwan and you told your family out there that you were running for the President of the United States, what did they say?
They were like, oh, really? That's nice. They just like go out of the conversation.
Yo, that is the most classic.
It hadn't hit the news yet.
No, it hadn't hit the news.
What's been happening?
So I've been around the country spreading the word about me, the campaign, how we need to build a different kind of economy, raise hundreds of $1,000s. The average donation is only $11. So my fans are even cheaper than Bernie Sanders' fans were the last time. At this point, if we don't step up and help lead society in the right direction, it's just gonna get deeper and darker and nastier for Asian Americans, for all Americans. So I got turned on to that really by Donald Trump winning in 2016, where I saw that happen and it just shocked me into action, honestly. And I'll say, the opposite of Donald Trump is an Asian guy who likes numbers. And what we need to do is we need to take Donald Trump and then swing it the other direction. He wants to freeze time and like turn the clock backwards. We need to turn the clock forwards, and that's what I'm gonna do.
You know, older folks that are like in America and they just miss the days of like the Beach Boys and Elvis, those movies with Will Ferrell where he always wears a mustache are always, obviously, I don't want the world to go back to that time. Shout out to Bruce Lee though. Bruce Lee was a poppin' Asian, I believe, during that moment. What do you say when people say, Andrew, of course you want to move forward, just look at the individual positioning and incentives, but I would like to turn the clock back and that would benefit me.
I know what you mean. So if you look at the numbers, if you were born in the United States in the 1950s, there was a 93% chance that you were gonna do better than your parents. You fast forward to people born in the 90s, which I think might include you guys. If you were born in the 1990s in the US, then you only have a 50-50 chance of being better off than your parents. And that number is going lower and lower. So when people say they wanna turn the clock backwards, what they really mean is that they want an America where their kids are gonna have better lives than they did, and they don't see that happening now. But you can't try and get there by literally like reversing time or saying like how were things in the 60s or 70s.
What happens when the nostalgia for the old economics manifests itself in more of a nostalgia for the old racial diversity?
America's heading towards being majority minority in 2045. So that's 27 years from now. What you would expect to happen is for the shrinking white majority to become more and more nostalgic for the past and feel culturally threatened and insecure. And then you add into that the fact that their economic insecurity is going up and up because we're getting rid of the truck driving jobs, the retail jobs, the manufacturing jobs. And so that's going to manifest itself as a lot of racial hostility. And then if you think, what would you expect to happen in the beginning, in like the third inning of that? You'd expect maybe Donald Trump, maybe a rise of racism, maybe like outbreaks of shootings and violence, all of which are happening. All of this stuff is unfortunately consistent with a narrative of this country disintegrating over the next 30 years as it becomes more diverse.
Dude, you just painted a super bleak picture of the future.
And then you have this liberal narrative which puts everything under the umbrella of racism. It's like if things are going badly, then it's racism. And then if you're a poor white, you're looking up being like, how the heck am I racist? Like, I'm just like trying to put food on the table.
Maybe I grew up in a town where literally just geographically there are no minorities. Looking at it like, how could I be racist when I didn't even meet a minority?
That if someone can't pay their bills, that mindset of scarcity reduces their functional IQ by 13 points, which is 1 standard deviation. So that's like if you put someone in a position where it's like they're living week to week or paycheck to paycheck, and then you ask them to care about something like climate change,
They're not really gonna have the comfort.
They're not high enough on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs to bring themselves to care.
and what we have to do is we have to try and reverse that mindset of scarcity by putting some more money in their hands so that they don't have to worry about their survival.
As a metropolitan, young, middle-class Asian male, why would I care about truck drivers in Iowa? They don't care about me.
But I'm actually going to reverse it a little bit and say, how would it feel for a young urban Asian American man to have an Asian guy in the White House? Because right now, if you're an Asian American guy, there's a sneaking feeling you have that you're allowed to become this successful in America, but you're not allowed to become this successful.
Bamboo ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, like robots can't be leaders. They could be successful workers.
I've been with the people who are like supposed to be running the country, and I've got news, like we are as good or better than any of them.
Asians do probably have some self-belief that even if the rest of America was burning around them, that they would be okay.
We are bred to think like no one's gonna help us, we're self-sufficient. There's gonna come a point when that stuff's gonna stop working out for us because we do better in a stable society where there are opportunities and hard work gets rewarded. And you're starting to see the beginning of a world where hard work's not gonna matter as much. The rules are gonna get written by people in power, and like you can tell like all norms go out the window. Because if you're a young person in this country and you feel like you're getting shafted and you just wanna get disengaged from the system, you have been shafted. You've been shafted through like crazy expensive college that doesn't even make sense. You're getting shafted by climate change. You are getting f***ed. And so because you're getting f***ed, you're just like, hey, I don't wanna care. And I wanna undo that. I want to un you. And so if you wanna help me un you, then like vote me into office. So if that's not a reason to care, then I don't know.
Andrew, I could hear the passion in your voice because you are definitely cursing a lot more than last video.
All right, Andrew, so we had boba, we had some Taiwanese snacks, but let's go hit the basketball court.
Hold on, you want a bite of that burger? How about this is a guab. This is a guab.
Wow, this is a fat guava.
All right, so we are here at Almanzar Park. We're gonna play a game of horse, but we're gonna call it UBI.
Basically, it's a classic game of horse, aka UBI, but you'll be answering a tough question prior to every shot. You have a platform of universal base income,
Yes,
which gives everybody $1,000 a month.
yes.
How do we prevent people from like tricking people into giving them their 1,000 or people spending it really unwisely?
It's not going to be legal to borrow or lend against universal basic income, so you can't go to someone and be like, hey, like I'm gonna get you 1,000 for the next 5 years and I'm gonna give you this $5,000 in exchange. But one of the problems right now in America is that we attach all these conditions with programs. We had 126 welfare programs, and we say, here's something, but you have to do this and do that. And
You have to hit the
monitor
checklist.
this. Yeah, we have to start actually respecting ourselves and believing in people again. Because if it's their money, they're gonna make good decisions every month. So we're gonna just take the straightaway 3. Oh!
There's one state in the United States currently that has UBI. It's Alaska, right?
Yes.
Now, Alaska is a very red state. Is it a Democratic thing? Is it a Republican thing?
As one of my friends said, it's not left or right, it's forward. In Alaska, they've had this oil dividend for 36 years and everyone loves it and they're really Republican. But a lot of people who are Democrats like the idea of putting money into people's hands too. So it's really not from either side. Someone said to me that this is like the shuffler where everyone can get behind it.
Bank shot. Oh,
Oh my goodness! What do you think about Kanye West?
You know, I think Kanye West has lost his way, honestly. I kind of like the independence and contrarian spirit he's got, but come on, man. I mean, like this is not good for anybody. And his music's not as good either. And maybe that's the biggest problem. Sorry, Kanye, gotta tell like it is, man.
Oh!
This rim is unforgiving. Don't let it shake you though.
Just like the bleak future that you've painted for America. Oh! Dang, I got you!
All right, I got it. What celebrity endorsement do you think would do wonders for you?
You got to think big, Ellen.
Did you watch Crazy Rich Asians and what'd you think?
I liked it. I do think that if that's like the height of our accomplishments, we can probably do a little bit better. Sorry, John, and I mean, it was a great movie, but we have to think bigger than movies, in my opinion. We have to think about reality and what we can do. All right, I'm gonna avoid the U. Look at that. Woo, all right.
Can I still ask questions even though I go out?
Sure, man. We make the rules.
Oh my gosh, I got UN or UB.
No!
In the case of Harvard discriminating against Asian applicants.
Why is the Asian community obviously so split?
And if you got to look at the origins of that case, it was not an Asian group that brought that case. It was a conservative white group that first sued the University of Texas, and when that didn't work, they decided to sue Harvard. So my question is, like, are Asians gonna let ourselves be used as a tool by a conservative white group to make a case that really is not about Asians, it's not about Harvard, it's just trying to get rid of preferences that help a whole host of different people around the country. A little bit more arc. Oh! Yeah.
Oh, I got UB. I got Universal Basic. Oh.
Oh, that was pretty. Well, it's hard to hit one.
Oh! Is Ready Player One a future that we're headed towards?
Ready Player One is definitely a future we're heading towards because virtual reality and entertainment is just getting better and better, and the real world is getting rougher and rougher. So we're gonna have a lot of kids with goggles on in a virtual world that's gonna be a lot more appealing and attractive than the real world.
Why not limit the universal base income to purchases that are more base level?
Even if you look at something like the EBT card, what a lot of people do is they'll buy some fungible food like a bunch of soda and then they'll sell it to someone, get that money, and then do something else. Like, it's very hard to make a system that you can't game. And you don't want to have an attitude where it's like, we know what's best for you, you can only buy food. Because what if that person has a great idea for a business and that's what they want to put the money into? So we have to trust people to be able to make their own decisions. And studies have shown that that's actually better for their satisfaction than if you attach a lot of conditions and controls. And my platform is about putting more economic power and self-determination into everyone's hands, particularly young people, because if you're coming out of high school, college, you see this future and you're like, man, it's financially insecure, which it probably will be. We have to change that for you all. And putting $1,000 into the hands of every American adult starting at age 18 would be a game changer. And we can make that real for you all if I become president in 2020.
Andrew Yang believes in you. Ah. Woo!
Oh,
all right,
that was actually a hard move.
Yeah. Oh!
Andrew gets $1,000 a month to do whatever he wants.
I'm already feeling good.
That's what happens in the UBI world. We all actually win. No one's a loser. We all win.
Which one are you more like? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James?
I'm definitely more like LeBron than the other two guys, because I love to try and build teams, make people better, make people stronger. Don't care about who gets the credit, don't care about who gets the last shot.
A lot of the talk shows, it's clear that they take a strong stance on one side.
Is that helpful, or does it need to be like?
It really is critical thought. It's that one of the problems is right now we have people who are just falling into camps, and they're not really thinking more critically about ideas on the side. Yeah, they have the war paint on. And at this point, if you look at the numbers, about 28% of Americans identify as Democrats, 23% as Republicans, and 44% identify as independents. So, you know, there are a lot of Americans out there who don't think that like either camp really gets everything right. And so we need to try and bring the middle together and give the middle a voice.
Do you think you being an Asian man, do you think you running for president impacts that at all?
To become the CEO of my own company, I started my own company. And so, you know, like a lot of the way we're gonna advance, and you guys represent this and resemble this very much, is like we have to build our own opportunities. And so, in terms of running for president, if we wait around for someone to say, hey, it's your turn, That's never gonna happen. We're gonna have to step up and say, this is what my vision is, this is what I can do, and then have other people get on board. I mean, I remember playing basketball, I remember missing a layup, and then kids being like, what was that, a Chinese layup? And they started laughing, and then I was like, I went home feeling like and then what did? I just can practice layups for like a long ass time. And that's like, we gotta take advantage of what makes us special. We're willing to learn, we can try hard, we can frankly like take some discomfort. And then you take that discomfort and grow from it. Doing is very, very different than analyzing, as you said. We just need to do more, and as we do more, we'll get stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I think we got it. We're full up on the analyze.
Yes.
Like there's a balance, but we're good on this one. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching that very special episode of Fung Bros Food. Huge shout out to Andrew Yang, presidential candidate for 2020.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you. Best of luck out there.
But not a paid political
I'm not even
endorsement.
saying
Also,
win.
We're not even. I'm not even saying I'm voting.
No.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, peace.
Peace. Boom.
Boom!
So we're going on a national tour through the Midwest throughout the month of November, and we're going, if you want to get involved and see where I'm going to be, come meet me in person. Just go to yang2020.com, follow us on social media, and I will be in your town before you know it. But let's show what we can do. Let's step up. This country needs us.